Hey guys, thanks for watching today. I'm Tara Carr, and today we're here with Mr. Robert Andrews, Elite Performance Coach. Today we're talking about mental training, how it pertains to elite athletes, and what he does here in Houston. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here in Houston with your athletes?
Where do we start? Well, what started it all eventually was I'd done a lot of work for years with trauma resolution, working with people that have been involved in bad automobile accidents and things like that. And then it kind of hit me that that same trauma model would help injured athletes. So I started working with athletes on helping them mentally and emotionally get over like ACL injuries and broken ankles, and Tommy John surgery and all that.
Right.
And then people started asking about performance and can you help with anxiety, performance anxiety. Well, I had done years of training and workshops in human performance, so I started weaving that into the mix, and it just took off. So here I have two associates, Taft Singletary and Ashley Ackerman and myself, and we do a lot of performance work with all sports. I think the only sports we haven't worked with are maybe badminton and curling, but everything else we've worked with. We do a lot of work with teams, organizations, go out and talk to parents and school programs and university programs, and I travel all over. I was just up in Calgary, Canada, working with a gymnastics group up there, and then we go out and do parent talks. And so we kind of I think of performance as like a three-legged stool: the parent, the athlete, and the coach.
Right.
And you have to strengthen all three of the legs in the stool for things to work. So we address all three aspects there.
Very cool. Very cool. So I think mindset is huge, super interesting to me, and the people that I work with. So I wanted to ask you, when you're working with an athlete on mindset, do you think that that's only something that elite athletes can do, or can you relate that back to just anything in life, someone just wanting to get fit, losing weight, anything like that?
Well, it's all connected. I was just sitting there smiling because we just had our youngest athlete come in just a few weeks ago, 6 years old. 6 years old.
What sport?
I think it was gymnastics or cheer. Gymnastics or cheer. We see a lot of cheerleaders and a lot of gymnasts because they're mentally intense sports.
Sure.
They do crazy things in the air, but they also experience a lot of mental blocks.
Right.
They can't do backward skills or something.
Right.
But we also teach a lot of life lessons here and help develop emotional intelligence. And we talk a lot about making the right choices in response to things that go on the court or on the field or whatever that is. So everything we teach here, it just kind of works its way out into their universe. So we hear all the time, well, their sports is better, but their grades are better, and they're picking better friends, and their self-confidence is better. And that's one of the things I take pride in, is I think we're developing character and culture around here more so than anything else we do.
Absolutely, yeah. Another thing that was really interesting to me with just my daughter, working with mindset with her, is like you said, get definitely better grades, just confidence overall. And definitely as a parent, things are just a little bit different too. So is there anything that you think is really important that parents need to be doing when their athletes start to kind of push into that next level and working on mindset stuff? Is there stuff that you think is really important that parents should be aware of?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about just this morning when I was getting ready, and we're raising a culture of perfectionistic kids that are afraid to make mistakes. They're focused more on getting things right instead of just playing the game. Like I just had a gymnast just leave here a little while ago, and she had a bad relationship with her coach at another gym.
Right.
And this is one of my magic questions. I said, how much of your mental emotional energy is going into gymnastics, and how much was going into deflecting and defending with this coach? And she said 80% of it was going into deflecting and defending herself against this coach, and 20% into gymnastics. So she wasn't thinking about gymnastics when she was on beam or floor. She was thinking about this coach.
Right.
That's a little bit different than the parents who are just so wound up and intense, and you got to do everything right, and there's no room for mistakes. And we see an epidemic of perfectionistic kids in here. And I have something I read to every one of them about the difference between excellence and perfectionism.
I have that. I love it.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. Very, very good.
When I say, what side of the page are you on? They go, ooh, I'm a perfectionist.
Right.
and they become introverted. They may not naturally be an introvert,
Right.
but they become introverted,
Right.
and they keep everything inside, and they tend to shut down, and their personality changes,
Yeah.
and so we've got to fight to get all that back.
For younger athletes, a lot of times, like coaches are, like on Little League and things like that, coaches are the parents. So there's that kind of crossover there. But is there something, maybe an overall concept that you think coaches could do?
Be willing to learn.
Learn.
That's a real simple question, or answer to your
Yeah.
question. So many coaches think that they've got it, and they see sports through just that lens of perception and that filter. Whenever I go out and do coaches groups, one of the first slides I put on my PowerPoint is this genetically engineered dinosaur from the Jurassic World movie.
Uh-huh.
And that dinosaur was always learning and always watching and knowing when the gates were opened and closed, and when they fed these animals and how this animal hunted, and when the lights turned on,
Right.
and it made it a better hunter. And I tell coaches, you've got to be willing to learn. And if there's something you're not being successful at, you don't know how to reach a kid, things aren't going right, your team's not reaching its potential, get online, ask for help.
Right.
I had a athlete in last week whose coach said, I've run out of options. I don't know what to do with this athlete.
Right.
I want to talk to you, but I also want you to talk to my athlete. I'm all over that.
Yeah.
Because that's a coach that's willing to be open.
Right.
But so many of them, I swear, I think some of these coaches go to these conventions and then sit around at night and drink beer and talk about how to be bad coaches.
Yeah.
Because it's all the same story.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's baseball or softball or gymnastics, it's the same story.
Yeah. And so those, if that's happening, they could definitely reach out to someone like you, or go, seek some help to kind of guide them in their performance.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about gymnastics
Yeah.
here already. If you look around my office, that's a lot of what I do.
Right.
But there's a big dialogue going on in the USA Gymnastics community about educating coaches.
Right.
And that's a critical conversation that needs to be taking place. And I think my name's been thrown in the hat of being part of that team, and I hope
Right.
I get picked to be part of that, the reconstruction of USA Gymnastics, because it needs it. It's there's been a virus that's worked its way through the whole system. There's wonderful coaches out there.
Yeah.
Because I work with their athletes. I know they're out there.
Right.
But there's a lot of coaches that have seen the way things have been done, and then they take that information and take it back to their gym.
Right.
And then the other coaches go, well, that coach went to a national team camp, and that's how they're coaching. I better become that way. So then the virus comes home,
Right.
and it works its way through the whole gym. And that culture has to be changed.
Yeah. Do you think it's kind of, there's a way things used to be done, and that people just aren't kind of changing or evolving with the times, and they kind of just stay in that
Well, it
same
worked.
mindset? Yeah.
With the women's program especially. We had the last 4 Olympic all-around champions. We won silver in Beijing, gold in London, gold in Rio. We have how many world champions,
Right.
in multiple sports. So on the outside, it looked like it was working.
Right.
On the inside, it's broken.
Right. And then that's what people aren't seeing.
Well, they're seeing
Well,
it
now
now.
it's coming
60
out.
Minutes.
That's true.
The
Yeah.
Indianapolis, there's a writer in Indianapolis. I've been interviewed 3 or 4 times about
Right.
my take on all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm all over it. And I don't have any problem being vocal with what I know and what I've seen and what I've experienced.
Right.
We've got to fix it on the inside.
Right.
And there's great people on the board, and there's people on the board that need to go. And there's great people in leadership, and there's people in leadership that need to go.
It needs to evolve for sure.
Big time. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't know we were going to go there, did you?
I didn't. I had maybe a little idea about it. I thought maybe we might talk about it a little bit, but definitely been following it, so I know exactly what you're talking
It's a
about.
hot topic
It
right
is.
now.
It is definitely. Okay, so we have a lot of mom viewers that have athletes at home. So if anyone feels like their athlete is ready for a performance coach, or ready to kind of take that step to help them in their journey, how would they reach out to someone like you and get your help?
In Houston, Texas?
Yes.
You call us. You can Google the Institute of Sports Performance.
Mm-hmm.
You can call us at 713-522-2200 or go to TINSSP.com. That's an abbreviated version of the Institute of Sports Performance.
Mm-hmm.
Mental Training, Houston, Texas. There's all kinds of ways to find us.
Okay.
But we get a lot of people through Google searches and internet
Yes.
searches. A lot of people that way.
Awesome. And I can definitely vouch for it. My daughter comes here. She loves it. Definitely one of the best decisions we've made
Cool.
for her gymnastics
Good
career.
feedback.
So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Very happy to have you on today. And
Thanks for having me.
yeah, for sure. Thank you.